All right, guys. Welcome to the Scars Block 8-4. We have an interesting rare here in Praetor's Grasp. It's actually a quality card because you can steal bombs and stuff from other people. It's a lot better in sealed, where you know everybody has colorless bombs. We have two decent cards here that don't commit us to a color, and I don't know. I don't really want to take the Praetor's Grasp. I think it's okay, but it's definitely very swingy. It's a 3-mana spell that doesn't affect the board and sometimes won't pay off. The other thing we could do is take this Master Splicer, which is basically a 4/4 for 4 mana, and I think that's a pretty good early pick. It's probably slightly better than the Legionnaire, although it does commit us to a color, but I think I'm just going to take it and see where that goes. And here we have we have a bunch of options here. We have the Pith Driller, which is great. Man, okay, so we have a foil rare, so a rare was taken out of this pack. We have the awesome Viral Drake, which is very good. Even in non-infect decks, it's just really good. Really good all around. Pith Driller is fine. It's actually above average because there's a lot of 1 toughness guys, and especially the more aggressive archetypes rely a lot on 1 toughness guys. There aren't any white creatures here that I'm really interested in, and so I think I'm just going to take the Pith Driller and keep looking. Here we have an Exclusion Ritual, which is a 6-mana Spine of Ishtar, and that's quite good. We also have Blinding Soul Eater, which is technically colorless, but also plays well with our other white cards. We have 2 quality black cards in Blind Zealot and Grim Affliction. And obviously we're not in black, but you know, having a black would make our Pith Driller a little bit better. As it is, I'm not really interested in drafting anything aggressive, and my early picks are both kind of more controlling type cards, so I think I'm going to take the Blinding Soul Eater. I do love a Blinding Mage. This Brutalizer Exarch is good, but it's slow, and I feel like I'm going to have my pick of similar, like if I wanted to take a 6-mana removal effect, I would probably just take this. Hopefully one of the Suture Priests will wheel out of this pack, and we can pick up one of them, because that's a fine early drop for a deck like ours. Here we can take the Surgical Extraction, because it's worth a ticket, but I think the real pick is between Reaper of Sheoldred. Remember the Fallen is obviously great in a deck like this, and Spire Monitor. If we knew for sure we were going to be blue, I just love Spire Monitor. It's a good trick. And I love evasive creatures, but Remember the Fallen is fantastic with these 2 creatures and decent with the Blinding Soul Eater, and being in white, we're probably going to pick up additional artifacts. It's possible that we wheel this Cathedral Membrane, but and that would be kind of nice because it looks like our deck is going to be pretty slow, but for now we're just going to take the Remember the Fallen. And so now we have a choice between an alright removal spell, but in a color we're not sure we're playing, and Pristine Talisman, which is just going to be really good in general. If we sort by cost here and move Pith Driller where it belongs, we're already on the slow side, so that means this is going to actually be better. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and take it here and pass the guest verdict. I've passed a lot of good black cards already, like Grim Affliction and the Blind Zealot, so I actually think I'm going to be white and pick up another color based on what comes in future picks and future packs, which is fine. Here we have a couple of decent black cards in Mortis Dogs, Parasitic Implant. Parasitic Implant is decent to average, like it's decent removal. It's very slow, like the rest of our deck. Mortis Dog is actually a card I'm very happy to play, even in control decks. It does a lot of damage in a hurry, and Sensor Splicer is decent value in a color we know we're playing and goes well with our Master Splicer. Spinethopter is also an option, which would give us a 2-drop and allow us to stay open. I think it comes down to the Sensor Splicer and the Spinethopter. Spinethopter is a better card, but I think Sensor Splicer is going to be a little better in our deck. I don't want to go for a black card because we pass so much of it. This pack looks very identical to a different one that we passed. We may not wheel the Suture Priest out of the other pack, but I think Suture Priest is fine. It usually gains you a couple life and drains your opponent for a couple, which is good against non-infect, and against infect I'm happy trading it for a 1 toughness infect creature, and that's often very relevant. So I think I'm going to take it over the Vault Scourge here. You could make a case that the Vault Scourge is a little better, but I like the Suture Priest, especially with the Splicers. So we're not doing bad here at all, and there's nothing in this pack for us except Necropouncer, which is actually fine. It's a little expensive, but we have the Pristine Talisman, and our deck is going to be pretty slow and grindy. It also beefs up our normally worthless guys in the late game, like the Splicers themselves, or maybe a Pith Driller, so I think I'm fine having that. So here's our original pack, and there's it's nice to see that both white cards made it around. I don't think there were any other white cards in the pack. Oh, there's a Forced Worship. So Forced Worship was taken, but other cards were taken over the 2 white, let's just call them semi-playables. Oriox Survivors is fine. We already have 1 equipment. It's a decent-sized guy, and white doesn't get a lot of high-end guys, so yeah, here we're just going to take the... Man, there's a lot of good cards in this pack. Maybe you ought to pick up the Maul Splicer. Maybe I ought to pick up the Maul Splicer since our deck is already pretty slow and has 2 Splicers. I actually think I'm going to do that, even though I'm passing 2 white cards, and that's a lousy signal. And we've wheeled this Suture Priest, because I think the Splicer is going to be better in our deck, and it's probably going to make the deck even if we have to splash for it. And I value that over, like signaling. So, so far I think we're looking okay. We're definitely white, and we're interested in controlling-ish cards. Hopefully we just open White Sun Zenith right here, and we can just get big. But if we don't, it is interesting that no Phyrexian Hulks wheeled. I was hoping to grab one of those since we have a couple Splicers. But, well, I almost got what I asked for. There's Red Sun Zenith. We don't really have anything to get Treasure Mage, and there isn't even anything good white in this pack. The best card by far is the Red Sun Zenith. The next best card is Blight Widow, which doesn't really fit with what we're trying to do. There's no way I'm not taking Fireball here, because Fireball is absolutely absurd and is just the nuts. And so, yeah, we're going to take the Fireball and be happy we opened it. And a rare was taken out of this pack, so we need to be careful not to read too much into the signaling here. Leanin' Skyhunter is kind of iffy. Sometimes it goes really early, and sometimes it goes really late. You can get them like 7th or 8th pick. We didn't see a lot of white being taken previously, so it's entirely possible it wheels, although this is a pretty thin pack. But as far as power level, especially in the controlling type deck we're trying to build, there's nothing that really competes with Burn the Impure, so we're just going to take that to go with our Red Sun Zenith. We'll be happy splashing those. Ooh, Phyrexian Crusader. That is a big game. What's in here for us? All the good cards in this pack are black. The best card for our white Splash Brew would be probably the Nathasaur or the Razorfield Rhino, but this card is absolutely going to dose us if we don't take it, and I'm not interested in being dosed. And it is kind of a hate draft, but we might play it, and there's a lot of black coming from the other direction. Nested Ghoul and Virulent Wound and Dross Ripper are like the 4 best cards, well, maybe Steel Sabotage, but 4 of the 5 best cards in this pack are black, so I think we're just going to, this is a 3rd pick, we're going to move in on this signal, I think, and look for additional black cards. And here's another pack with Virulent Wound and Nested Ghoul. So we're going to hide this Maul Splicer. I think we're going to be white-black and try to just splash for the red, maybe. Kind of wish we'd picked up that Shriek Raptor, because it'd be a little better with this. But this guy's just a house. He doesn't need any help to be awesome. Virulent Wound is fine, but I don't think it's as good as the Nested Ghoul. I don't like how much black we've passed and the fact that we're still getting black in these packs, but I mean, we're just gonna Yeah, I mean, playing Phyrexian Crusader is going to commit us to black enough that this Nested Ghoul is going to be fine. So, I think we're just going to grab it. And there is a third Virulent Wound.